What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. That's Kev. I'm Corey. We haven't gotten a chance to actually talk about Scopper Gaban. So we're gonna
Mhm.
do a character breakdown. If you like character breakdowns, check out our playlist. If you like other breakdowns, check out the other playlists. We got plenty of them. We're a small channel, so make sure you like and subscribe and tell us your favorite part of the Scopper Gaban character reveal. How do you guys think How do you guys think he is going to influence the story? And just like, what do you guys feel like this means for like Sanji and the Straw Hats and the others, like right and left hand of the pirates? Um, let's see. Kev usually gets us started, so if you can give
Yep.
us like a small, brief overview of the character.
Yeah. So Scopper Gaban. Also, we learned his epitaph here recently, which is the Mountain Eater. Former member of the Roger Pirates. He's a legendary pirate who was on the same level as Silver's Rayleigh, Dark King Silver's Rayleigh, and the Pirate King himself, Roger. So he's the left hand of the Pirate King. Now, since he's been executed, or since Roger was executed, we really didn't know much about him just outside of that he was on the crew. But in recent chapters, it's been unveiled that he's been on Elbaf. He's at least was stuck around for a couple years because Ripley's his girl and Colin's his son, and Colin's like 20. So it's he at least stuck around for a little bit. He may not have spent the last 20 years on Elbaf. He could have still been traveling. We know he didn't go back to Wano, so it's interesting to kind of imagine what he's doing here. We see Silver's Rayleigh and Crocus going around the world, kind of helping out a little bit. So, what's his plan? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and what's his what's his significance to the Straw Hats other than just showing them around Elbaf? Because, like you said, he talked about Colin and he's talked about other uh, giant mixed creatures like, Wotans. He dropped the name
Long
Dosun
necks.
Dados, long
Yeah,
necks. Um, so there's obviously some knowledge that comes with that. He's an old guy, so obviously you're gonna get that sensei hermit vibe from him. I'm personally under the impression, since he's called the Mountain Eater, they said he took down every tree on that mountain, and these are Elbaf trees, like Kev pointed out on a previous video. Like, these ain't normal trees. You know what
you
I
know,
mean? So I think he has like a something similar to Zoro's like Azura form, or basically his demon form. I think he has a
sure.
similar technique, and I think this will help enhance Zoro because he'll have more understanding of what he's actually doing. And maybe this will also help give us a little bit of like inkling to like how Mihawk is so strong, because it kind of goes into like these characters that are more melee
I
based
like
that we
that.
hear are demons and stuff like that. Like, maybe they are demons. Maybe he is a demon. You know what I mean?
And Silver's Rayleigh has conquers hockey. I mean, I'm giving it to him as well. We haven't seen it yet, but same thing. It's when you get to this stage of the show, you kind of have to mix in that most of the stronger people are just going to have these certain abilities off the top, and that's kind of how I put him. I think he's going to have conquers. He's going to be able to show him how to really utilize, hockey at a different level, maybe a different form of hockey that I'm not seeing. But I don't know. Can he, as far as a teacher, do you think it's going to be a Luffy thing, or do you think he's just here to kind of help out everyone else?
I think
Do you think
um
Luffy has something to learn from him?
I think Luffy has a lot to learn from him, but I don't think Luffy's
Okay.
gonna necessarily learn it from him.
Okay.
Like, when we get introduced to him, we also get introduced to his family, and both of them are scholastic characters. You know what I mean? One's a kid
Sure.
at school, one's a teacher. So like his whole being and him being on like the Roger Pirates, just like Rayleigh, like his whole being's like here to teach somebody something. But it's like, what? So far, it's like you know demon circles. You know your way around the. I don't know if you know demon circles, but you know your way around the castle. You know your way
Yeah,
around
for
Elbaf.
sure.
like the poneglyphs. So it's like, tell us, what do you know?
And so yeah, and he's Shanks was just here right before he beat Kid's ass. A couple years ago, it feels like. And
I
so
think he
Shanks was
mentioned
just
Shanks,
here.
right? He mentioned Shanks.
That yeah, he said that he heard a lot from Shanks about Luffy
Oh yeah, yeah.
beating Kaido and all that shit. So it's like, he's excited to meet Luffy. Like
He's
he's
like,
just
yeah.
like
He's like, all
he's
right, let's
just like
fight, let's
Rayleigh.
fight. Okay.
Rayleigh was the same way. He's just like, Shanks did come over here without his straw hat. I wonder where that son of a bitch went. And then here you are. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna know his lineage as well. He's gonna know Garp. He's gonna.
That's such a cool ass line, and like in like retrospect is like I was wondering where that straw hat was. It's like, bro, like that
Yeah,
straw hat. He's like,
dude.
yo,
Everyone knows.
that's like
That's
Zoro like walking up to like some like random kid and be like, oh, I was wondering where Luffy's hat was last time I talked to him.
yeah, dude. It's so great because it's like everyone asks him like, what was it? Somebody like I think Buggy even like made it a mission leaving Marineford to take his hat. Like everyone just knows Shanks gave that to Luffy. Don't fucking touch it. It's
Yeah,
like
don't
don't look
touch
at it
the hat. Yeah.
unless you're giving it back to him. Do not touch it. Um, Now I want to take a second. What do you think about Yasun? I mean, that's how we get introduced to him. We know him as Scopper. Do you think that this is just a name given by the Elbathian warriors?
Yeah, Yansan. I don't know, and maybe it is like a. I think I brought this up in the other video. It's like Rayleigh ain't exactly hiding. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
very close
exactly.
to Marie Joie being in Sabaody.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't think this is like a alias as far as like I don't know. Maybe his last name is Gaban, right? So
Sure.
maybe he was telling his name to somebody like younger and they couldn't pronounce it, and then they just called him Yansan. And he's like, "Yeah, cool, I'm Yansan then." Like
Fair
I ain't
enough.
really worried about that. I've seen a lot, kid. I'm not worried if you call me Yansan,
I
but
mean, I would get that if there's like a language difference or something. I mean, I've seen it in like the movies like The Last Samurai where he speaks
William,
English and they speak Japanese, and it's like, I'm going to call you something different other than your real name.
is
Okay.
his name William in that movie?
I don't remember.
There's
I
this
watched it
gang
like
called
3 weeks ago.
Neo, and there was really like a British guy that went over there, but his name was William, but they had to change it
Yeah, yeah,
because the L and R thing.
yeah. And so, yeah, there was a guy who like actually went over there, but it was over many years. And so the Last Samurai is not exactly
Like side note, yeah, people been going
accurate.
everywhere forever.
Military contracts have always been a thing.
Yeah,
Is what
like
that is.
like people have been like like they also had like the new Assassin's Creed is gonna be like Yusuke, uh,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
so it's like you got this guy from like Europe, you got like people from Africa going to Japan. It's just like people have always had boats. That's all I can tell you, bro. If we
Yeah.
like big boats ain't a new thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Traveling is not a new thing. Like
Yeah.
that's
Like the boats have
so
been around for a long, long time, y'all. That's all I'll say.
it is interesting. And so like maybe if there's like a language, difference, I would see like, oh, okay, like yeah, you can call me Yasan. I will reply when you say Yasan, and that's about it. My name's not Yasan, but who knows? I also think like he's raising his son as a warrior, like the way that Colin just came out of nowhere and attacked Luffy to kind of see how he reacted was that's not a normal behavior. So
Anymore.
it's
So he learned that from Pops.
or Ripley,
Yeah.
but I think Ripley and him are both still warriors at heart. Ripley just kind of decides to lean into the King Harold's design.
So since we brought up Ripley too, let's just like make a like small point on like he's like the uh what is he, the advocate of love, the preacher of love.
The preacher love.
Yeah.
Preacher love.
It's like okay, like maybe we're getting that is connected to you giving us this giant lineage like lore drop where there's like more and always has been kind of prejudice against them. Maybe that's all your point is. I don't see where that's going long term except for the resemblance to Sanji. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But it's like I don't see where any of the Straw Hats learn this information or like, oh, okay, this changes something. So I don't know.
I'm right there with you, but and there's also the fact that they're both the left hand of the pirate, past and future pirate king, and where Silver's Rayleigh kind of reminds me a lot of Zorro as well, and so it is interesting,
He do be drinking.
And we do make fun of it, but this is a Sanji ass character.
Yeah, Silver's Rayleigh is he's drinking a lot. He
Yeah,
is kind of late to the party a lot. He's passed out a lot. Like he's a swordsman. Okay.
yeah. And then like Sanji and this guy, like if you tell
Let
Sanji
Rayleigh get
that
lost
a
once.
human, yeah, that a human can have children with a giant, Sanji's gonna be like, how? Just tell me how. I will take it from there. And like he's a Jiraiya ass character. I love him. I think he's gonna be funny. His comedic relief is gonna be great. But he also has like a realistic comment in here where he's like, "No, me and Ripley didn't get married because I'm going to die way before she does."
So it
But
wouldn't make
he's like,
sense.
yeah, so he's like almost dead. He's 80-ish years old. He's
So he's
garbage
been here since
age.
like 60, bro.
He's been here since he was like 60. And
Which
so,
which is
and Ripley
crazy.
looks 27, 30 as a as a giant. So it's like, oh my god, like, yeah, he's. I think that's a pretty interesting comment that he made.
Hmm.
Do you think his axes are special?
I think his axes are what Tashigi would say is like a fucking supreme grade blade. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like
I
that.
think they will be. I think when we see them, they're gonna be shining black, like with a sheen, like ting. You know what I mean? It's gonna make like a point to like show them. I'm more wondering like the handles, if there'll be like any kind of engraving, or if they're gonna be like, oh, these this is like
Ooh,
Elbaf wood for the handle, so it's like, yeah, like the I make the steel unbreakable, but like the handles are also like unbreakable. I wonder.
and I've been rewatching Black Clover, and they have they learn to write and to say certain enchantments when they're using their abilities. And so like if the engraving does like maybe it gives like some strength to it, and he has like Elbathian engravings like on his handles that's made out of atom wood. Or
See, that's
I was thinking like what if he has dual devil fruit axes like and like this one's like I don't know, just kind of thinking out the box here.
like, yo, if he
But
had a double, like, he's
Cerberus is on
like,
my brain, dude.
oh, you thought like double fruit axe is a thing that I wasn't just about to spam at the end of the fucking story? Like, yeah, bro, like, we got double fruit weapons, bro. Like, we're bringing them all back. Everything I wanted to
Yeah,
do, we doing right now. Yo,
just
that
imagine,
would be
just like
wild,
just something like I don't know. I'm thinking like fire and ice,
bro.
just two wielded
Give
swords,
me two different dog like fucking ones, like
something,
yeah, like wolves, like not Cerberus, but wolves. You know what I mean?
or make it like something like I've seen like on a Power Ranger
Twin
where it's like
snakes.
this is an elephant arm, but this is a lion's like shield or something. It's like
This is a master.
perfect.
You talking
Yeah,
about?
it's something crazy. I don't know. I'm tripping, but I think he's going to be interesting. He knows his way around Elbath, and like you said, he's a knowledgeable person. I think 20 years living here, you're going to learn a thing or two about history.
Like he's definitely seen the murals that Frankie saw. I think he will be
Mm-hmm.
around Robin the moment Frankie comes back and tells them about the mural. Or whenever the mural is mentioned to Robin, I think he will be around. He's like, "Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Actually, let
Yeah,
me take you. because it seems important. But I wonder. I think he's also going to live just like Rayleigh's still alive. I think he's going to be alive to see Luffy become the king of the pirates. Um, but
Okay.
somebody on Elbaf has got to go by the end of the saga. So, or the arc.
I think it has to be Saul.
Right?
I think but I mean, nobody really dies on One Piece except when you're Ace.
Or Pedro.
Ah, oh, fuck, you're right. Never mind, Pedro. God. I mean, like
Realize,
Saul never dies,
yeah.
but Saul gets like burned, and Garp never dies. It's like okay, killed some people, but I mean, I think you're right. Whew.
It'll be very
I don't know.
interesting to
I think
see, like, how if Rayleigh and Scopper ever have a conversation with like Garp or people of that class,
mm,
because they were there. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
they're all the same age. Like I want to know like what's going on with that.
and
I would like
and
to
like
be like
yeah,
I would like them to be like, well, they're all like bad. Marines are all pretty bad generally, but there's always like a good one or two. And then it's like for you see the
I
fucking
think he'll know Garp. Like he'll know the relationship that Roger and Garp had, just like Kobe and Luffy have, where it's like, look, most of the Marines are pretty shitty. You're not half bad. If I need somebody to defend, like somebody that I appreciate, like you're the first one I call. And so,
yeah,
but
I guess they
like
all
you're
did
saying,
meet Kobe. They all met Kobe when they met Garp, so they do all know Kobe. I was like, but really only like Zoro and Nami know Kobe, but I guess they all do know Kobe.
I don't know. It takes you mentioning Luffy, and then he's gonna smile really big and be like, "Oh, do you like Luffy?"
Oh, you guys, everybody knows Luffy, huh? Everybody knows Luffy here. Everybody knows Luffy, bro. You're in a
And so,
random country across the world. Do not do that.
and I think Scopper is probably at God Valley, so he may have actually fought Garp. He probably knows of Dragon.
He was probably the person that was like, bro, Roger, quit talking to Garp. Like he is going to leak the secrets. Every time you meet up with him and like y'all are hanging out and shit like that, that y'all are probably that's a plot. They're probably plotting on you. You know what I mean?
That's plot. No, exactly. And so it's it is interesting to me. I can't wait to find out more. We have 1140 hopefully coming up this week. No delays as of yet. We don't know. We don't know. But Oda has kind of earned some leeway because these last 5 chapters have been just absolute fire.
For real. And this is the Luffy versus Scopper chapter. And it might not be.
Yes.
It'd be very interesting if it is. It'd be kind of I don't want to say
It's
more
true.
interesting if it's not, but it's like, what would we jump to? Like, it would be some
But
important ass shit for us to like be
I
derailed from
I
this.
I think you're right because I don't think we left them at all during that whole entire chapter. I think we were in the castle the whole time. So I think you're right.
It's like,
Oh, that's we are gonna skip away.
because I'm like, there's no way. Like, the only time we like left them was when we were learning about him. You know?
One page, and it's exactly right. It's we were talking about oh yeah, there's another human here actually. It's Scopper. And it's like, oh, okay. So I think you hit the nail on the head on this one. We're gonna be
He's
jumping to like fucking Dragon next week or
he's gonna be
something.
yeah, he's gonna do some shit where it's like the next time we like go to this fight is after we hear somebody else talk about Scopper Gaban. You're like, we haven't had this guy problem since Scopper Gaban. You're like, okay, bro.
And the fight's gonna be over, and he's gonna be like, wow, you really are strong, like Shank said, and that's gonna be it. And it's gonna be like,
the
wow,
the way
that's
he's holding like the key though, it's like he looks like he's gonna be like flipping it, you know, like when they have like heavy ass like fucking pillars and shit. He's just gonna be knocking out. So
well, I mean, they're not. It kind of looked like to me like he was gonna try to get away, like run away or some shit, like hide it, or I don't know. But
that'd be kind of funny. He'd be like,
because he
let's
doesn't
go.
have his axes.
Yeah. He's like, you gotta get it from me. He's like, okay. Luffy gets ready to fight. He's like, keep away.
But I mean, you guys tell us, what are your guys' impressions from Scopper Gaban? We don't know we don't know too much yet. We know history, or we know a little bit of lore. We know a little bit of rumors, but not that much from the man himself up until recently. We had the Odin flashback, and he did mention that he might want to go to Wano now, but he might die before he ever gets that chance. So
yeah, for real. And I wonder, that would be interesting. So the Scopper, I almost said Konohamaru. Damn, I'm blanking. Odin's kid. Why
Momonosuke?
Yeah, Momonosuke. It would be interesting to see him talk to Momonosuke and be like, not only Momonosuke, no, he wouldn't know the rest of them, would he?
No, he would know that the Scabbards were there, and like he must have been told about them, but they only came back to drop off Odin, and then they left.
Yeah.
So, but they don't know the Scabbards, but he knew Momonosuke was born on the
boat.
Ship. Yeah. So it's like he helped. He changed some diapers. So seeing Momonosuke be almost 30 now, when he's only 8, is going to be probably an interesting.
Yeah, like right after that, that's like actually, because that was like 20 years ago. Because Momo did a 20-year time skip. So right after that, he stayed on Elbaf. So whatever
That's
happened?
An interesting fact. They did a 20-year time skip, and then they just aged him 20 years. So he probably would have been this age.
Yeah.
Right
So
now.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, so when he sees him, cool. Cool. Nothing to question. Hey, you look like a fine kid. You look just like your dad. Exactly. Like, no questions here. Yo.
I wonder, and then like for Momo, it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
So he may remember.
Yeah.
Like he may remember.
That was a very traumatic time. That was a very traumatic time.
Very,
like he
fair,
knows.
fair.
Or actually, yeah, that's a very traumatic time. He remembers the good times with his parents, so he knows Scopper. Like, like you telling me all the good times? There was a hard cutoff right here. Yeah.
This is when all my loved ones died.
So it was all fun.
Here's the good times.
On the sea, everything was all cool, and then we went home, and then everybody died. So I remember the sea is a good place. What do you guys think? Do you think this Scopper... Hey, what do you guys think about this old Scopper-Momo dynamic? Do you think they'll be fighting side by side in the final battle on some, like, I recognize you, you recognize me, it's a long night kind of stuff? Like, how do y'all feel about Scopper and just the lore drops for Giant Lineage? How do you guys feel about just him having Conqueror's Haki being a teacher to any of the Straw Hats? You list whose dynamic you think he would work with the best. And if he has anything to teach the weak trio. Does he have anything to teach Nami, Usopp, or Chopper? That would also be interesting.
My bet is he dies to save Momo because he didn't help Momo's dad, Odin. Yeah. So he has to be there to save him. So
that would be a Sanji ass move. You know what I mean? Yeah. Zoro wasn't helping him up there when he was strung up. Sanji was. But okay, I'll stop derailing. All right, everybody. You guys have a great rest of the day. Let us know in the comments below and check out the rest of our videos.
Peace.